Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
I'm a software engineer in big tech based in Seattle, and I build mobile apps, both professionally and for fun. So while this business isn't directly tied to my core skill set, it's definitely aligned with my passion for technology, problem solving, and sharing knowledge. This particular business has actually been in my family for 29 years, so it holds a lot of sentimental value to me. I became the owner about 2 years ago, and even though I haven't been running it for the past few decades myself, it's something that's always resonated with me. This has been really meaningful to carry forward. Using my technical background, I've been able to streamline a lot of the operations in the past 2 years. I've introduced automation to make it easy to run, and I like seeing that I can give the people what they actually want.
Why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
This really comes down to my time. I have a 2-year-old daughter and newborn son, just a few days old now. And on top of that, I work full time. I'm a staff engineer at big tech, the city. And so I just don't have time. As much as I care about this business, I just realized that I can't give this the attention it deserves while also being present for my family and staying fully engaged in my career that I'm still very passionately trying to grow. Rather than let this business stagnate and just, keep the lights on, I'd much rather love to see it in the hands of someone who can make it grow and keep building on the strong foundation that we already have.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
So this business is very easy to maintain, to be honest. Most of the operational work is reviewing and selecting content to publish on the site, which I spend a few hours Monday through Friday doing. I've automated nearly everything else, so there's really no need for a technical background to run it. The workflow is simple, repeatable, and does not require much oversight beyond being consistent with content updates. Overall, it's a very manageable routine for a solo operator, such as myself, who's been running it with a full-time job and a family, or anyone looking for just a stable, low-effort business.
So if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
So this is my absolute favorite question. There's so much fun stuff you could do to really help it. To get started, we have no AI integration at all in the business. One really easy way is add an AI parser to all of our content. Let people get a brief AI-generated synopsis at the top of every story. The other AI implementation I would go down, I can't dig into without revealing too much about the business, but there's a really large opportunity to work closely with AI and universities that I'd be happy to dig more into once we chat more in person. Another opportunity I've already started but haven't finished is making iOS and Android apps. Simple readers would do. You could add subscriptions, you could charge money for it, whatever you want. About a third to half of our users are on mobile apps. I think right around half are on mobile apps. And we don't have apps, so we just send them to the site on their phone, and it's not the best experience. So it'd be a pretty easy way to not go in out of the park in the beginning by getting apps. Something else you could do is add login functionality. Once you have the person on the site and you know who they are, you can, let them pay money to have no ads. You can give them much more targeted ads now because you're tracking who this person is via their login. There's a lot of ways you can go once you just have that information. Kind of like data is power. So you can just gather more data in that sense. I would also monetize our social media. So we have 1.6 to 2 million followers, somewhere in that ballpark, across all social media. We've monetized zero of it. We don't even make posts anymore. We stopped because it's too much time. I don't have the time to run the social media. There's all these followers who want to hear more that we're just not communicating with at all. So that'd probably be a really simple and easy way to drive a ton of traffic back to the site. The other way is, we can monetize our newsletter. We have 50 to 60,000 subscribers who all came organically on their own fruition. Like we didn't buy any. And we've made $0 off of the newsletter. We simply haven't monetized it. Looking at competitors, we get around 1 million views a month because a lot of people who don't subscribe view as well. And competitors in that space have low 6-figure incomes for monetizing their newsletters. We make $0 right now. Probably the biggest opportunity that would actually make you the most money, if you wanted to, would be we're selling this business along with 200 very high keyword relevant domains. So back when Google became big in the early 2000s, this business saw an opportunity and swooped up about 200 domains, all 1 or 2 keywords. We didn't have a long business goal in mind. We just thought they were great domains and grabbed them so no one else could. We've never put content on those. We've simply just been paying to own them for 20 something years. So there's this huge opportunity. We have all these domains, add a redirect on it. It could be so simple. Or start pushing out the exact same content we already have to these hundreds of other sites. Why not run 200 sites for the same cost of running one site? Don't really have an answer. I should be doing that, but I'm not. Don't have the time to set it up. But all of these very valuable domains are also for sale here, and I would highly recommend someone capitalizes on that. Our business online, we don't use any images. It's not really intentional. Every other website I've ever found in the internet uses images. It's 2025. We still don't. It's such an easy way to pull in a bigger audience. People love color, pictures, images. We just don't have any. There's no good reason. I just don't have the time. I think someone should take over, and some of these ideas are easy. Some of them are more involved, but there's a lot of ways that I would go if I were going to keep running this business, if this were my full-time job, that I hope someone else would go if they buy this.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
Yeah, so since we're an advertising financed company, the biggest risk is always going to be traffic. If you stop pushing out content, people eventually stop coming to your site. You'll stop being ranked so well, and the business will cease to be financially viable. I think it's always going to be that struggle of finding the right avenues to rank high in searches. There are SEO specialists who can maybe help. We've never used one. I'm sure there's opportunity there. But that's really how I see a risk is, what if one day Google says, well, we don't like you guys anymore. We're not going to show you to anyone else. That'd be really bad. Granted, I think we do have about 40% of our traffic is direct links because we're pretty relevant to the academia field. So they link to us themselves. But still, it's a risk. Granted, it's been 20 to 30 years and it's never happened. But, we don't control Google. So we could never say for sure what the future holds there.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
I really want this business to succeed long after I'm no longer running it. I'm very happy to offer solid support for the transition. I actually only recently took this over myself a couple years ago. Everything involved in running it, from the daily workflows to anything on the back end, it's very fresh in my mind. I've just gone through ramping myself up, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So this makes it a great time for someone new to step in because I can walk you through everything that I just went through to learn how to run this business efficiently. And I can walk you through all the automation I set up too. That's going to be very fresh in my mind as well. On a personal note, the business has been in my family for 29 years. It actually means a lot to us. I want to make sure the next owner feels fully supported and it's really important to me that you're successful running this too.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earnout agreement?
I'm open to discussing an earnout if it's going to be absolutely necessary to make a deal work, but I would lean pretty strongly against it. My whole reason for making this sale is to free up more time this year. With my son being born a few days ago and a 2-year-old daughter, I don't want to be tied to chasing performance targets throughout the entire year. I already do that with my full-time job. That's not this business. Anyway, I would prefer giving strong support for the necessary period. So someone's fully transitioned into this. I want to set you up for success. I just would prefer to not commit the next year or years to chasing those earnouts when I have a lot of other things going on in my life the next year or years. But I want to be clear, I'm very committed to making sure the new owner is successful here. I want to onboard you successfully. I don't think it'll be difficult. I just think that a straightforward deal would be best for everyone involved.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
I think is worth buying for the right person. Some of the broad stroke reasons, this has been a long-standing brand for 20-something years. We actually predate Google. So we were on the internet before you could even Google us. We didn't have much traffic then. We've been around for as long as you could go back through most modern internet. And we've been financially successful the entire time. We've never had a year since the early 2000s when Google started ranking the internet where we haven't made a profit. Past few years, we average a 92% profit margin. The only expenses are minor legal fees, renewing our domain, basic boilerplate stuff, server costs, right? Those aren't very much. I just feel like it's practically impossible to fail when your profit margin is 92%. You could lose a ton of traffic, you can make a lot of mistakes, and you're still going to be making money every year. I already discussed the opportunities earlier. I think there's a lot, so I'm not going to go through all those again. But the business has never been run by a savvy businessman, to be honest. It's been run by an academic for about 25 years, and then it's been run by myself, a software engineer, for the past few years. There's just probably a lot of opportunities. Someone who's more savvy with growing businesses, more savvy with connecting the dots to make this something it can be than the people who've been running it. And that's me, and that's fair. That's just not my strength. And I think that's why this business could be really good for the right person. Adding to that, something that, again, may not be obvious, but we have an extremely loyal and passionate user base. The same people who have been using our site since they were in high school are still using it a decade or two later today. When we see that through emails people send, or, we used to do social media posts and we get all the same people really involved, recurring comments. And it's just clear that the people who care about this really care about this. We're tied into academia really tightly. So for any people who want to know you're doing a good thing, this is a really good cause too, in addition to just being very profitable for very little work. I think either way you flip the coin, you're going to come out ahead.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you will find everything you need to know about this business. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.